Whole Business Essentials is here. Start your free trial now.
Real cowboys customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, Tess, did someone else get a turn?
Hey there, fellow marketers, Professor Walters here, and today we're going to talk about what is social media. Now, if you're looking for the Oxford Dictionary version of it, it says, and I'm going to read this, social media, websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So what does that mean? It basically means it's the social interaction side of the internet. It is that Web 2.0. Because remember, Web 2.0 are the functionalities of the internet that allow people to communicate back and forth. Because the old Web 1.0 was just, I put out blog, we are done. But no, Web 2.0 is that back and forth. It allows us to interact and talk. Think about it. You can click that like button to tell me you like this video. You can comment down below. You can share this video. You can subscribe. We can have that. I can answer your questions down below and type in an answer. We have those things. And that is social media. We're interacting with each other, and that's great. And the thing is, it can be all kinds of stuff. It can be the picture you share of the food you ate on Instagram, or the picture that Grandma took of you when you were 12 that she shares on Facebook to embarrass you on your birthday. Yes, all that is social media. It is content that people are creating to share online, and usually what you end up doing is kind of linking things together in popular topics, right? Your whole hashtag kind of thing. Yes, let's learn about different things. Let's be social about a certain topic. I mean, come on, when there's a draft for a sports league or a new movie coming out or a TV show, there's always the whole set of Twitter things going and Instagram posts about it and stuff like that. We're showing those things, and we're sharing our experiences, and we're letting our friends know they can come back and talk to us. And the thing is, when you're looking at social media, what you're looking at is social media is used not to sell products. That's one of the big mistakes companies make. They get on social media and think we're just going to sell. No, your website, that's for sell. Your social media, that's there to build a community feeling. That's to build your community of followers. Getting that social interaction, you're developing relationships. And that's what's great about social media. It lets you build relationships with your customers. How many of you have had a back and forth chat with somebody on Instagram or Facebook and actually build your friendships? I mean, I have people that we were just kind of like acquaintances in high school, but through Facebook, we become best friends. I mean, heck, I met my wife like in high school and we were like acquaintances, but then I wrote her on Facebook, we developed a relationship and we're married with kids now. Social media can do a lot, even without Tinder, huh? We can do the old school way with Facebook, right? And so you kind of see these things and you see that, wow, social media really is like we're building that friendship, we're building that relationship with those interactions back and forth. And for brands, your social media is very important because you can establish your brand personality online that really says who you are, and people can identify with that. Because I know I talk about the Wendy's Twitter feed all the time, how it roasts people, but it's not one person that does it all the time. There's a team that come up with these roasts, but you still feel like it's the same Wendy doing it. So you have this idea of who is my person, who is this brand? You have this kind of idea. And we use social media to get across that brand online, okay? So make sure you're doing that. Because when you build that community feeling, when people feel they have that relationship with you, they're more likely to buy, okay? Because I know who you are. I feel like we're friends. You're more likely to buy with them, okay? Because if you try to sell, it turns people off. But if you build that community spirit, when eventually they're going to buy, then they're going to think higher of you. It's like, oh yeah, I like using their stuff. I like talking to them. They share some good stuff. I'm going to check out their store. I'm going to check out their site and see what I need to do, okay? So overall, what is social media? It is the interactive nature of the internet. It is sharing posts. It is sharing pictures. It is sharing videos. It is sharing music and interacting and talking to people in order to build a social community within the internet. Okay, so I hope this helps you better understand what is social media. Because yes, from cat memes to your grandma sharing embarrassing photos of you.
Well, I agree with most of what he says, but you can sell on social media. Maybe you can't do what I would call hard selling, but he even contradicted himself. He said you could build brand awareness. You can also improve customer service, which is a form of selling on social media. So I wouldn't say it has no value at all as far as selling. Now, Okay, so there are a lot of features, user accounts, profile pages, audio, video, friends, followers, event pages, newsfeed. There are different types, blogs, discussion forums, media sharing networks, wikis, so forth and so on. A social networking platform creates an online community of internet users that breaks down barriers created by time, distance, and cultural differences. So here are just a couple, or a few, more than a couple, a few of the most popular social networking platforms. Facebook has a staggering amount of users, as does YouTube. So let's see, according to Nielsen, the Nielsen rating service, Generation Xers born between 65 and 80, like my wife, spend the most time on social media, almost 7 hours per week, while millennials, who were born 1981 to 97, spend just over 6 hours per week, which is still quite a bit of time. Okay, and it's, if we table 9.1 in the book, heavy penetrations, North America, East Asia, South America, West Europe, Central America, Oceania, basically everywhere around the world. So, and there are certainly business applications of social media to advertise, to assess job candidates, and to sell products and services. Even though most initial social networking platforms were targeted at non-business users, many organizations now use social media for business purposes. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, there are quite a few. So, social network marketing. What is social network marketing? The use of social networks to communicate and promote the benefits of products and services. Okay, this is selling. You know, we could split hairs about selling being marketing and so forth, but 37% of consumers say they use social media to find out about products and services, to raise brand awareness, and to drive traffic to a particular website to increase sales. Okay, that guy said that the websites are what sell, and there's some truth to that, but you can certainly create interest, curiosity, a desire to go investigate your website on a social media platform and get people to your website. Okay, so social media marketing spending nearly doubled from 2014 to 2016. I used to use social media to market my courses. My courses were kind of techie, and really Facebook and Google didn't help me much. LinkedIn, I used to advertise on LinkedIn, and I got quite a return on that money. Okay, so here's another quick clip. What is social media marketing?
Imagine it's the year 2004. This is Phil. Phil's looking to release a book and set up a blog. He's sure that it'd be successful, but he's only worried about one thing. He doesn't know how to ensure that his book reaches the right target audience who could enjoy his book. During that period of time, however, there were only a few forms of advertisement available, like print ads, billboards, radio, direct mail, direct sales, and the television. All of these options were pretty expensive. Their effectiveness couldn't be accurately determined, and they didn't let him advertise his content to the appropriate audience. Phil's book would never find the audience it deserved. Now, let's have a look at the same scenario in the present day. Alongside traditional forms of advertising, Phil would have access to digital marketing, a form of marketing that's a lot more lucrative, inexpensive, and configurable. Marketing that would enable marketers to advertise their audience digitally using channels like search engines, websites, social media platforms, emails, etc. Among these types, social media marketing caught Phil's eye. social media marketing would give Phil the opportunity to take advantage of social media platforms to advertise his content to a highly targeted audience. It would help more people learn about his book and increase the interaction with his audience. It's relatively inexpensive, unless he goes into advertising, and will help him get marketplace insights that might help in understanding his audience preferences better. Phil started by taking up a certification to learn about social media marketing. Since he was already familiar with the concept of social media marketing, his next step was to learn about the different types of content he could post on social media. Some of the most common forms of content that Phil could post would be images, text posts, polls, and videos. But over time, Phil began to notice that not a lot of people were being exposed to his content. Phil needed to advertise his content. For that, he would need to use the advertising options provided by the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Most advertising platforms offer users with a number of different options, like image ads. These ads involve the use of single or multiple images that are attractive and have the optimal amount of text. They also have a call to action that encourages user interaction. Phil could use images from his book, advertise websites that sell his book, and more. Then there are text and post ads. These ads could advertise posts or excerpts from Phil's blog or his book, further garnering interest from an interesting audience. He could also use video ads. Phil could use video ads that feature favorable reviews and customer testimonials to advertise his books. Phil could also use lead ads, through which he could collect information from users who were interested in a weekly newsletter or regular updates from his blog. But that wasn't the only thing Phil could do with social media platforms. He could create a brand for himself and drive audience interest to it. Engage with them, create an identity, engage with content, finding content that works for him. Social media platforms also allow him the opportunity to target audiences based on demographics like their age, location, gender, and much more. And in time, Phil began to see an increase in the number of viewers coming to his social media page and, by extension, his blog. He also saw an increase in the number of people who bought his book, greatly increasing his audience. Here are some things he learned. 1. To set goals that were quantitative, smart, and follow a constant deadline. 2. To understand his audience by engaging and connecting with them. 3. To set up a social media calendar to plan competitions, polls, surveys, videos, and more. 4. Using tools like BuzzSumo, IFTTT, Buffer, and more for lead generation, creating email lists, setting buyer personas, and more. 5. To perform visual storytelling with the help of images and videos. But how did Phil get so good at social media marketing? Before we find the answer to that question, let's have a look at a quiz. What can you do with social media marketing? A. Create a brand for yourself. B. Engage with an audience. C. Target users based on demographics. D. All of the above. Choose the right answer and have a chance to win an Amazon voucher. Now back to our question. How did Phil get so good at social media marketing? Phil had taken up Simply Learn's digital marketing course. It was thanks to this course that Phil had the skills and training to get good at social media marketing. And now, you can too, by clicking on the top right corner. And with that, we've given you an introduction to all the major concepts of social media marketing. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a thumbs up would be really appreciated. Here's a reminder to subscribe to our channel and to click on the bell icon for more on the latest technologies and trends. Thank you for watching.